Hello everybody and welcome back to Analog Vernacular. Today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader here, and once again we have cleared out Incendia from this place. Okay, there's that dialogue cleared. We got the loot. Let's see, Octavia. Upon noticing you, Octaviana offers you a genuine beaming smile and a respectful bow. What will it be, sir? Anything for you? How are you enjoying the liberated footfall? To the fullest, sir. I'm sure things will improve soon. That is to say, until some new disaster strikes and makes life stink again. And after that, if we're lucky, things will improve again. Such is the circle of life in the Expanse. What can you do? But you're the one who saved us from the suffocating darkness of Lady Corda's reign, and all the denizens of Footfall now pray for your health. Okay? I wish to make an announcement? I do? Octaviana nods, fills her lungs with air, and yells out in a booming voice. Hey you, bums, layabouts and crooks, shut your traps. His Lordship Vernacular von Valancius, who has graciously honored us with his presence today, is about to speak. The bar quiets down, and all eyes turn to you expectantly. I shall be brief. This was a glorious victory, and so I shall be paying for everyone's drinks this day. A deafening wave of jubilation washes over the room. From every direction, you hear shouts of praise for you and House von Valancius. Octaviana joins in while readying bottles and tankards. She knows what will happen the moment you leave the bar. Okay? Give me a splash of the local hooch, would you? Octaviana looks at you closely, then takes a bottle from a shelf and uncorks it. The transparent, pungent-smelling liquid quickly fills the glass that sits between you. Heinrich narrows his eyes. I speak from personal experience, Vernacular. Don't. Must be real tough stuff, huh? Take a good look at it. The glass contains a liquid that is clearly made from spent promethium. This is moonshine, virtually unfiltered, that quickly blows the drinker off their feet, and when imbibed, regularly turns their liver into a bubbling sponge. Have you got anything better? Octaviana grabs a dusty, unopened bottle from under the bar and a clean glass. The amber liquid splashes against the crystal walls as she adds in a couple of black pebbles. The soft, spicy aroma tickles your nostrils. Drink. The amasec warms your throat pleasantly. You can make out a hint of spice, the flavor of an oak barrel, and a distinct earthy aroma. You feel a little more at peace, and you reach the bottom of the glass sooner than you'd like. Give me the latest. This one might interest you, a tale I heard from a tipsy voidborn from a cargo barge. They exited the warp halfway between Furibundus and Aviora's system and came upon a shuttle wreck adrift. The shuttle was registered as the Inevitability of Triumph, a merchant ship that disappeared decades ago. She was bound for Footfall, her cargo holds brimming with valuable goods. But she never made it. If anything at all survived the shipwreck, it could be quite the lucky find. Okay, is that one a new one or is that one we found? Here's another tidbit for you. Some poor sot was here bawling about how his crew tossed out a whole shipment of cargo along with the trash. And it was his fault somehow. He hid the fact, and once they docked at Footfall, he immediately went on the run. No surprise there. Had they discovered his blunder, he would have been executed. I don't know what sort of cargo it was, but the ship he served on usually goes between Footfall and Winterscale's realm. She passes the 100 Dreams Crossroads and Langren's Belt. If you happen to be in that area, you might want to look for whatever that idiot chucked overboard. That will do for now. Okay. Cool. Until next time, sir.
I always have a backup plan.
Okay, Ryza, you back here again? Welcome back. She raises her glass to you, smiles and winks with her prosthetic eye. Well, things are back to normal, I see. How should I put it? With the Lord Inquisitor on the station, folks still have to keep a bit of a lid on their activities, but with Incendia and her hounds gone, I can definitely breathe easier. Shipments are slowly starting up again. Anyone who worked with Corda has been thrown for a loop, Footfall style, and folks can do business in the Amesicus again without any trouble. So I don't know if I'd agree with your esteemed self that things are back to normal, but I'll gladly drink to the new normal to your health. Okay? We can check if she has anything new, but she probably doesn't. Oh, look at that. Okay. Intoxicating elixir. Medikit. Monofilament grenade. Cool.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Alright. I'm going to be quick saving pretty religiously, considering the last 2 episodes we've had hard crashes. And I mean hard crashes. Like, I had to restart computer to get it working again. Alright, so I suppose now we should be able to... Oh, that's new. Voidsman armor. Medium. Perception goes up. Okay. Back to the atrium. And now we can probably go and talk to the Inquisitor. The elderly man in front of you is moving with the noiselessness of an experienced servant. He bows primly and says in a raspy voice, "The Lord Inquisitor told me to let you know that it will be his pleasure to see your lordship at his palace. There are matters of the utmost urgency that he wishes to discuss, and he hopes you will find the time to meet him in the near future." Okay. I will visit the Lord Inquisitor as soon as I can. I will pass the good news to the Lord Inquisitor. The man bows respectfully again. Okay. Let's go do it. Level up. Okay. Okay, marks an enemy. If they are killed by one of the Master Tactician's allies before the beginning of the Master Tactician's next turn, the ally gains a certain amount of resolve, so momentum, and +5 to all characteristics until the end of combat. That's a pretty good one. We don't have any of these other ones starred right now. Suffers direct damage equal to 20% of their maximum wounds, gains resolve, stacks of tactical advantage, and resets the cooldown of Linchpin, Inspire, and Strongpoint. Nah. Can only be used on enemies with the unfinished business effect, which I don't remember what that is or how to do it. Let's take assign objective. Okay. Now, ballistic skill would give us a +9. Agility a +5. Let's get our bonus in ballistic skill. Strong point. Ballistic. Okay. Archmilitant, let's see, none starred. The Archmilitant gains the cautious approach effect until the end of combat, or until this ability is used again, or until using confident approach. Instead of the usual bonuses from versatility, the Archmilitant gains extra dodge and parry. Alright, they gain extra movement point. If the Archmilitant has a stack of stacks of versatility, those stacks are doubled until the end of the turn, but the Archmilitant loses all stacks that were added at the end of the turn. I don't want any of these, honestly. Let's see. All the Archmilitant's attacks score critical hits, but the Archmilitant's critical damage for those attacks is modified. If the Archmilitant already has 4 or more stacks of versatility, they deal maximum damage, as long as the Archmilitant keeps the confident approach. Okay, this one might actually be good. And it seems like you can only have one at a time, but confident approach I think is the only one we're going to take. You could get an agility bonus. Yep, cool. We'll get your agility bonus, +8. Zone of Fear is starred. All creatures in the 3x3 zone must pass a willpower resistance test or immediately move out of the zone, even if they are stunned or immobilized. This movement triggers attacks of opportunity from the Navigator's allies that have passed the resistance test or that are outside the zone. Cool, let's take it. Okay, we close to any bonuses that you could use. Okay, go willpower. Let's go willpower. Metabolic overcharge is starred. So let's see what that does. The target ally immediately gains an extra turn with twice the number of their normal movement and Psyker's Psi rating action points. But their organism is subjected to severe stress, making them suffer 5% of their maximum wounds damage, which isn't bad, honestly, at the end of each turn until the end of combat. Oh. Every action the target makes during the extra turn will also trigger this damage. Oh. Why did I want this? Yeah, why do I want this? And it's one friendly creature. I don't know if that includes self. Oh, it's because it gives, like, right now he has 6 Psi rating, so he would give 6 extra action points to somebody. That's probably why. Alright. We could get a strength bonus. Okay. Now +9. Okay, no stars. Bounty Hunter's next attack this turn will have additional effects. Ballistic skill bonus and damage. Armor will be reduced. The enemy armor will be reduced. Dodge can also be decreased if enemy's armor is below 20%. That one seems okay. Ensnare the prey. Sets a trap on a free cell. Any enemy entering the 2-cell radius around the trap activates it. They take direct damage. There are certain situations where this would be pretty good. People who are forced to go down small corridors to reach enemies, you know? If they're melee, but it's pretty specific, and I feel like Call the Bold is going to be universally useful. Oh, guaranteed overpenetration is interesting too. I'm going to take Piercing Shot. Okay, no bonuses for you right now. I'm going to do Perception.
Keep your wits about you.
Okay, let's see if he's super pissed at us about, Corda. The Lord Inquisitor is engrossed in studying star system charts and reports which are amassed on the desk like the ridges of a formidable mountain range. There are shadows beneath his eyes which are ruthlessly dissecting the latest report, and his skin seems stretched taut over the bones of his skull. Without turning his head to you, Calcazar says wearily, "Greetings, your lordship. Your timing is impeccable." And more of this shit needs to be voiced. It really does. It's disappointing. Like, this is main story, too. An aged servant with the bearing of a veteran approaches the two of you. In a precise movement, he replaces the untouched cup of cold recaf in front of the Lord Inquisitor with a new one slightly steaming. Heinrichs nods silently at Calcazar, who responds by ever so slightly bowing his head. Okay. May the Emperor grant you strength and some time to rest, Lord Inquisitor. The corners of Calcazar's mouth creep upward. In a befitting grave tone, he replies, "I would be loath to trouble our master with a prayer for such an indulgence, especially one so utterly inappropriate at this fraught time." Calcazar notices Argenta and inclines his head with a dignified air. "Sister? Hey, you know what? You were worried about those two, like, getting at each other's throats, Incendia and, Winterscale? Turns out, I've dealt with both of them. One of them's dead, but, you know." The Battle Sister's eyes gleam as the Lord Inquisitor addresses her. "May the path be blessed. It is gratifying to see that the trials endured by the Expanse have failed to extinguish the flame of your fortitude. Lady Navigator Cassia, Tisifia, Evriela?" The Lord Inquisitor's lips curve into a thin smile as he catches a glimpse of scarlet eyes. "I hear that House Orselio is going through a difficult time. Change is coming. I sincerely hope it is for the better." "Your colors, Lord Inquisitor, are as rich as they are multifaceted. I have never encountered anything like it before. Unclouded hues flowing one to the next. Amazing harmony. Amazing and frightening." Cassia raises her chin and nods demurely. "That a man of such status and talents has taken an interest in the well-being of Navis nobility. House is a great honor." Jade touches the Aquila on her chest and drops her head in an unnecessarily deep bow. "O Lord Inquisitor, smiting spear of the Imperium with the gold of faith cutting through the nebulae of the Koronus Expanse." Calcazar raises a hand in warning. "If I were you, Mistress Haydari, I would endeavor not to draw the Inquisition's attention to my person." Ooh, that's a threat. "A Mercatum tabulae official can do many things. Reattaching a head to a body is not one of them." Ooh. "One of your acolytes, Emelina, accused you of cooperating with Xenos." Oh, I am touching fire right now. "I would remind you that the particularities of the Inquisition's work lies far beyond a rogue trader's purview. But given the circumstances, yes. Acolyte Lichtenhart's words are true. It has been several years since I established contact with the Drukhari. They informed me of upcoming raids, and I thwarted them. I kept the Expanse safe while the Xenos were absorbed in their internal squabbles, which are of little interest to me." Yeah. Allying with the Drukhari is a little bit different feeling than the Eldari, you know? "Strictly speaking, one might regard my actions in this situation as unorthodox at the very least. In reality, however, they are undoubtedly beneficial. Acolyte Lichtenhart has demonstrated her inability to surmount the bounds of convention, and had she been in my position, the Expanse would have likely already fallen under the blows of the present crises. Fortunately for you, she is not, and the Drukhari, drained by their power struggles, are bereft of their best raiders, can do nothing more than run from my fleets. Heinrichs, I have to say I'm disappointed by how easily information pertaining to the Expanse's security reaches the ears of those who should not be privy to it. This will be noted in your record. Would you care to put my concern to rest and tell me that Emelina is not out there running amok around my sector and continuing to sow unrest?" That was like his old friend. Damn. Dude is cold. In response to Kalkazar's question, Heinrich's eyes narrow, smoldering with anger. Emelina is dead, by my hand. Indeed? Well, I hope I can continue to trust you to know when a useful resource is finally exhausted and must be disposed of. Dude, I hate this guy. Your lordship, I hope it goes without saying that I would appreciate you not spreading dangerous and misleading rumors going forward and keeping the content of this conversation private. Given the current state of affairs, I would have to treat such actions as subversive. So I thank you in advance for your considerate silence. So what was the dispute between you and Caligos Winterscale about? His lordship deemed it more important to show off his stubbornness than to safeguard the interests of the Expanse. Stupidity of the most burdensome kind. But my sources inform me that he nevertheless has joined my efforts against the Xenos, and so I have decided to stay any sanctions for a time. I'm not going to tell him this. Why do you think he acted that way? His lordship has long displayed a susceptibility to corrupting ideas. His loss of interest in managing his protectorate and his appetite for violence drew my notice some time ago. After a moment's hesitation, Kalkazar adds, the only question that remains unanswered is how many agents of the archenemy have infiltrated his entourage. I see. Rest assured that his lordship will face the consequences of his actions. Okay. I escaped from Camera, where I was held captive by Xenos. He raises an eyebrow, impressed. You escaped from the Dark City. Didn't we meet with him after that happened? I'm trying to remember the order of events. No, I guess not. That's right. So we met with him at our capital, and then afterwards we got the summons from Yerliet about the warning or whatever, and that's when we got captured. That's right. A feat that few have accomplished. Truly, I congratulate you on an exceptional performance. I won't even mar your triumph by telling you that the Inquisition will, of course, be watching you very closely henceforth. I think you just did, dude. I sincerely hope that your grand escape was not part of the Xenos' devious machinations. Yet I am surprised that the Xenos is still alive. What is it, your lordship? Sentimentality? Revenge? Cold calculation? Kalkazar gives Yerliet a long, significant look. If you do not finish her off yourself, send word when you have tired of her. My acolytes will be only too eager to learn her secrets. Clenching her jaw to the point of pain, Yerliet hisses Eldari curses under her breath, but retreats half a step. I have looked into the eyes of death, and of creatures far more dangerous than you, Monkey. Do not try to frighten me. Are you aware of the changes Incendia has wrought on Footfall? Naturally. Her ladyship has done me an invaluable service by taking on the task of instilling order on the station, though her style of leadership seems unnecessarily brutal to me. On the whole, her actions have not exceeded the bounds I set. Don't worry, I put an end to her dictatorship. The Lord Inquisitor does not appear aggrieved at the news. As I understand, this was a private confrontation between two rogue traders, yes? As such, I hope your house will reach a reconciliation with her ladyship's heir. You have not hindered my plans. Lady Incendia purged Footfall sufficiently that I was not distracted by the need to pacify it. Okay, what is the current situation? The cult of the Final Dawn and Drukhari raiders are vying with each other to see who can cause us the greatest turmoil. I've mobilized all the forces I can to repel the attacks, which is why we are still alive. Combined militia brigades are hunting for Xenos and guarding convoys, and expeditionary platoons under my command are crushing heretic rebellions. The situation is unstable, but I will not pretend that I was prepared for this crisis. However, we have not lost our footing yet. Okay, what has prompted the Drukhari? Prisoner interrogations indicate that a relatively major political upheaval has taken place in Cameron. The cabal of the Reaving Tempest has lost its grip on authority and become a target for enemies and rivals. Many vassals and members of the Cabal decided that fleeing to real space was preferable to waiting in Kamara to be killed. Okay, and the Cult of the Final Dawn, they've become more active. The warp is raging. This baleful sign always portends change. Crises beget desperation, the most fertile ground for heresy. I believe the archenemy servants think their time has come. Perhaps this day was marked in their profane scripture as the date of the end of existence. I will not trouble myself with further attempts to make sense of their blasphemous doctrine. They are bent on destroying us all, and so they must be destroyed. Okay, what makes you think they are capable of commanding the whole sector? Do you see a better candidate for the job? The Lord Inquisitor closes his eyes warily for a moment. I may no longer be in the first flush of youth, but believe me when I say that there are many things I would much rather be doing than playing constable to the Koronus Expanse. But alas, every ruler in our sector chooses to confine their concern to the well-being of their own holdings, whereas I alone must take care of all. Okay? You have mobilized all forces, but not House Valancius. Are you not standing before me now? While your status remained unclear, I preferred not to requisition the resources of the Von Valancius Protectorate. Your people dealt with Urlon, the Cruel's agents, and with Xenos raids, and that was enough for me. But now is the time to add your might and talents to the scales. Okay? You must have an ingenious plan to save the Expanse? Question mark? The glance tossed at you is like a shot from an auto pistol at point-blank range. If such a plan were to exist, information about it would be of the utmost secrecy. I suggest you focus on the current strategy of putting out each fire as you encounter it. Alright, so we don't know if he actually has a plan or not. He might have nothing. He might have nothing to work with right now. I understand. I see no need to get bogged down in the details. To apprise you of all information I currently possess would require more time than we have. Okay, what do you want from me? Frosher, if you please. The Inquisitor nods imperiously at the servant, who draws some kind of remote control from his pocket. All sounds whose sources are more than 3 meters away fade to nothing. To my chagrin, the ability to be in 2 places at once does not number among my talents. That is why I wish for you to serve in my stead. I place such trust in very few people, you understand. You will feel what it is to walk in my shoes and attempt to compel a gaggle of quarrelsome blockheads to work together. You will reconquer Euphrates too for me. The Inquisitor gestures at the servant, and the silencing field disperses. Frosher, another recap. This one has gone cold. Okay. To what do I owe such an honor? Hell, I might need more coffee. Get me some recaf. To whom else could I entrust this mission? No need to feign ignorance, Von Valancius. We both know the shortcomings of the other candidates for this position. At present in the Expanse, there are 2 people with the perspective and steady hand required to control this situation. They are both standing in this room. So if you will dispense with the humble rogue trader act and win this war for me. Okay. Is this your valet or another Inquisition assassin? Why can't both be true? Frosher has been a member of my retinue for 50 Terran years and the person in my entourage who comes closest to being my confidant. Something akin to a warm smile touches the Inquisitor's lips. We have had cause to be involved in many incidents, whose reports have since been marked with the seal of silence. Frosher nods deferentially, and on his aged jowled face appears an expression caught between eternal loyalty, motherly affection, and religious devotion. Okay, tell me more about Euphrates too. A sacred world of the Adeptus Mechanicus off limits to lay people. I am one of the few who do not worship the Omnissiah to have set foot on its surface. Or rather, I was. Now it is crawling with unbelievers. The despicable word-bearers attacked and captured Euphrates II, and the Cult of the Final Dawn brought an entire horde of heretics to the planet. I sent my troops to aid the Explorator forces laying siege to the world, but a rift occurred among the commanders. They need an authoritative general. and you are perfect for the role. My confidence is not misplaced, I trust. Okay. The word bearers went there themselves? They didn't just send in their puppets? Clearly the stakes for them are high enough. Irulan the Cruel has stirred his profane self to make a personal appearance on Euphrates, too. Kunrad Voidfear, incidentally, is also there. Ooh, interesting. I hear you two have unfinished business. Him I will generously leave to you. When you are finished with him, you may simply dispose of his mortal remains. No need to surrender them to the Inquisition for an inquest. Consider it my gift. Okay? What brought you to Euphrates 2 out of interest? An utterly transparent attempt to learn secret intelligence. I offer to make you my general, and you try to pump me for information? Poorly done. Okay, what do you want with Euphrates 2 as I pump him for more information? The reasons behind their machinations would be pure speculation at this point. Bring me prisoners to interrogate. Perhaps we will gain some much-needed insight. Okay, what forces do we have in place? And what is this rift that occurred between their commanders? Explorator Fleet Divine Cognizance 7821 recalled its most combat-ready units to retake the world. They were supported by my most powerful strike fleet and a group of deadlier allies. I dispatched a pack of space wolves to hunt down the transgressors. Unfortunately, the leaders have failed to find a common language. The esteemed Thorvald is at odds with the conclave of the Mechanicus' battle congregation, and the Omnissiah's servants find Thorvald's strident nature off-putting, and neither group is fond of militant Sibilik, who commands my forces. Were not fond, to be precise. The esteemed militant perished along with his ship a week ago when his noble allies failed to support his offensive. Okay? How did you manage to enlist the aid of angels of the Emperor? I must remind you that I am still Lord Inquisitor of the Koronus Expanse, not merely some... What do you always say, Frosher? Some grox-bothering prick? If certain rogue traders at times allow themselves to speak to me in an overly willful manner, that should not give you cause to doubt my authority. Okay, situation's clear, bro. We're good. You will be given the details when you arrive in orbit around Euphrates II. Okay. I will smash the heretics. Oh, I never doubted you, your lordship. The Emperor protects. I'm trying to figure out when the other shoe is going to drop with Calcazar. Like, when are we going to find out that he's working with Irulan in some way, or like, is some, like, third faction of, like, nasty bullshit, you know? Calcazar nods at the paper that his servant has deferentially delivered to the table. This document attests to the extraordinary powers you now have at your disposal. I'm counting on your success, Analog Vernacular. Or he could just... He could just be exactly what he says he is, and simply because of that is dangerous, you know? Okay. I'm gonna go... Let's see, how do I get back there again? Let's go back here real quick and see if this is opened up. Nope. Okay. So we can't go back there. Is Hieronymus back up here? Or back over here? Let's talk to him real quick before we leave. Reverend Hieronymus is bowed in prayer, his brow is furrowed, and his eyes are filled with grief that he does not attempt to hide. Greetings, young von Valancius. I am offering my prayers to the Emperor for the souls that were robbed of a chance to serve him for a little while longer. All that consoles me is knowing that their final moments were those of anguish and thus of sublimation. What brings you to me? What do you think of the justice I served, Reverend? I grieve, young von Valancius. We did what we had to, but I mourn our loss. All the same, Incendia's soul may have been lost, but it was still purer than that of many vipers that call themselves holy fathers of the ecclesiarchy. Her life could have served as an example of true faith to many. Okay.
I always keep my options open.
All right. Hey, let's go talk to Jay. Okay, we have a couple more level ups to do as well. All right, we'll do intelligence. Sure, why not? I think he's like in this weird in-between between melee and ballistic, and I don't even know what he's better at this point. I think he's kind of busted. Not in a good way. We'll do raid. And we do intelligence again. And that gives us our +7. Cool. We'll just go willpower with you. Sure, Edge of Fate. I'm not gonna overthink this too much. Sure, we'll take precognition. Once per round, the Psyker's next turn is moved up by 2 turns in the round initiative sequence. This ability may allow the Psyker to have 2 turns during 1 round. And then we'll do perception for that. Okay, strength. Do clenched teeth. That might be good. Ooh, area attacks extra damage. So it increases in damage if more people are in the area of effect attack. All right, let's do Clenched Teeth. So, warrior gains +7 damage deflection against the first attack made by every enemy in this combat. Damage deflection against ranged attacks equal to the number of stacks of unyielding beacon. Immune to push and force movements. That doesn't seem bad. We'll just follow my lead. Alright, we'll take Bulwark. We'll double strength. There we go. Okay. That's everybody. Alright, Jay Haydari.
Shireen, O glorious son of dozens of worlds and billions of subjects, have you come to converse with Jai Haydari about the sweetness of her soul? Or do you wish to speak to a trade representative of the Imperium? Well, does the guise of one of the most powerful people in the Expanse suit me?
I would like to see the real you as often as possible.
You sure about that, my lord? That can be arranged. Oh my, I beg your forgiveness, Shireen. I'm pretty sure the real me would earn herself a one-way trip to the airlock before the end of her first watch.
How is your gang faring, Jay?
Like you need to ask, Shireen. These Ashmags and Kashaz are tenacious. They lick their wounds faster than the Aji themselves. Tora finally got an implant for her jaw. Now she can speak properly instead of braying like a toothless donkey. She's been recruiting strapping guys and gals too, because Falco culled our ranks. May the Aji savage the soul of that interstellar piranha.
You said you wanted to reflect on what has happened?
Oh, yes, Shireen. And here is what I think. Since the day we first met, I have been tossed about like a boat in a storm. Battered, dashed against the rocks, lashed by the waves. And then I was flung onto the shore, and a fabulous gift washed up beside me. A precious pearl of the deep, the Mercatum Tabula Officiale. And you know what? I enjoyed it. Yes, I was slammed face first into the rocks, and was up to my neck in water. But I finally had a taste of freedom. Just a smidge. Just a little bit. But it was enough to make me dream of it every night. Void, crack and take the Kasbalika and the cold trade. As for our mutual business, Sherry, I will remain your loyal partner if you desire. An equal partner.
Do as you see fit.
Then it is decided. Starting today, I will sail toward the future I choose. What a thrill it will be to ride the waves wherever they want to take me.
All right, very nice.
Ah, Shireen, the burden of it. Oh.
Okay. So there we go. Are we basically done with like just about everybody's side quests? Companion quests? I wonder if the next chapter will have more. Okay, the forces besieging Euphrates II are divided and will remain that way as long as their commanders are at odds. The Lord Inquisitor wants the Rogue Trader to take charge. Emperor's Palm. Okay. Yep, that one. Okay. Yep, all caught up. Steel for people. We don't need it. We need Xenotech is what we need. Weapons to provisions. No, we got plenty of provisions. Weapons for an Extractium. Okay, nothing new there then. You always got to check in with the queen.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without... I have enjoyed...
Just to make sure. Let's see if Vigdis has anything interesting. Nope. Okay.
Lord Captain. Lord Captain.
Let's figure out where we're supposed to be going. Okay, we now have new connections, new places to go. Is that right? We finished that. Emperor's Palm is here. Oh no, nothing new. I wonder if we ever do venture up into that. Okay, so this is where we need to get to. Okay. Lord Captain reporting. Shortly before our departure from Footfall, a group of messengers in luxurious garbs delivered a strong box and several chests, bearing the insignia of House Valancius to the ship. I suppose the use of gold-clad servants instead of servitors was an extravagant attempt by the navigators to draw the attention of the rogue trader. Considering the incident in the capital world, the Enforcer's officers checked the Navis nobility gifts thrice. I am pleased to report that none of them threaten your Lady Cassia's or the crew's well-being. Having said that, a closer examination of the strongbox by the tech adepts revealed a data slate with a vid message addressed personally to you, alongside some kind of encrypted data. We dared not touch them without your instructions. What vid message? Show me. As you command, Lord Captain. He issues several orders and the vid screen of your personal cogitator springs to life, the machine innards rumbling unhappily. Rogue Trader, Regent Aranto. A familiar piercing voice comes from the cogitator's vox system, and you see a bloated face with a sagging skin and a gaping hole where the nose should be. We, great Regent Aranto Orselio, send greeting and hope this message finds you in good health. Okay, you spared the great Aranto's life. Yep. House Orselio will soon hold a grand council within the Palace of Atlas, the holy relic that connects all navigators of our house. This meeting will take place not in the physical world, but in the world of thoughts, dreams, and visions. It is the only way to avoid bloodshed and decide the fate of the sacred child at last. Thanks to the Atlas, we feel that the soul of the child is full of dismay, and yet the rogue trader's words bear a lot of weight with the child. So he may soothe its anxiety and lead the child down the right path, the path of accepting its duty before the house and ascending the Novator's throne. I hope you consider my offer, analog vernacular von Valancius, for it is in your power to not only strengthen the bonds between our dynasties, but multiply your riches at the same time. The gifts accompanying this message are but an insignificant part of the Great Regent's gratitude. May the God Emperor protect us all. The vid screen shuts down and the Vox Master breaks the silence. I am told the message has been relayed to your cogitator, Lord Captain. I hope the data did not get corrupted during playback or delivery. Okay. Decode the encryption hidden in the data slate. Yes, Lord Captain. Vigdis falls silent and the Vox transmission fills with scratchings of a cogita quill and rustling of papers. A messenger servo scroll has been sent to the Omnissiah servants compartment. Once the data have been decrypted, I will notify you immediately. Okay, so we have to wait for that to be decrypted then? That'll be all for now? God Emperor protects, Lord Captain. Okay. Oh, whoa! Okay. Well, looks like we've opened up more options, huh? There are definitely not enough for us to be able to finish them all, though. Interesting. Iconoclast goes up, security and people. Huh. Okay, so gracious priests, the Hospitaller priesthood of the Sanguinalians, a spiritual community within the ecclesiarchy, has taken an interest in the pious world of Falstone and offers to found a sanatorium sanctum on it. There, armed with scalpels and diagnosters, healers will cure diseases, furnish the disabled with augmentations, and keep a vigilant eye out for genetic anomalies among the colonists. Fellowship of the Void is necessary for that, so we can't do anything here. Okay, 3 options here, it looks like. More iconoclast. Efficiency and security goes down. I'm gonna do it. $317 out of 500. Okay. The adoption of the charter is a scandalous decision, allowing elected commoners to rule the world alongside hundreds of aristocrats. Let's go. Okay, more weapons. Security and efficiency, which are maxed out, so we don't need that at all. We got some red ones down here. Alright, we'll take the weapons. That one's a little bit low. We still need Xenotech, man. Okay, Vibos. Is the only one we can do. We'll get some Promethium. The open pit mining of transuranium will be a blow to Vibos 6's population, but bring in enormous profit. Okay. I can't tell what's connected to what. I think the Frozen Prince is actually connected to the Cradle of Kepri? Yeah. Lord Captain, an urgent report from the servants of the Omnissiah. They managed to locate a second message on the House Orselio data slate hidden in the shadow of the first one. As soon as it happened, the machine spirit rebelled and started devouring the decrypted data. The acolytes of the cult Mechanicus are performing the rites of appease it and slow down the process of annihilation. What should we do? Display the message on the screen right now. The comm bead echoes with the furious clicking of Vigdis's augmented fingers. A few moments later, the vid screen of your cogitator shows the recording through a wall of static. Okay, Orselio, Renegade's representative. Rogue trader, you hardly know me, but I am well informed of your deeds. Lady Navigator Alina perished on Dargonis after her attempt on Cassia Orselio's life. A well-built young man adjusts his silk headband embellished with the symbol of the Navis nobility. My name is irrelevant for as long as the cursed child continues to live and breathe. No one in House Orselio is safe. I know that what Master Felix and Lady Alina Hateria had to do at Urak 5 and in your palace. I understand your anger. House Orselio deeply apologizes for these incidents. The Navigator tiredly closes his eyes. I presume you already know that House Orselio will be holding a grand council in the depths of that accursed Atlas very soon, and we cannot ignore the call, for we are bound to it against our will. I am also aware that you enjoy a great influence over the cursed child. Convince her to reject the Atlas, break the centuries-old shackles binding our house, crush Tisiphone's tyranny under her foot, or simply kill her. I do not care. I am not going to lie. We are unlikely to become good friends, but House Orselio values true allies like no other. The true House Orselio, that is, and not these lunatic zealots of the region. To assure you my offer is not vain, I will be the first to extend my hand in a gesture of goodwill, a gratuitous gift to the von Valancius dynasty. You will find it among the stars of Martianus, an emerald clutched in the storm's embrace. Head, something, right, and twice forward, then. So it's instructions. So head left, right, and twice forward. Then. Do I need to write this down? Left, right, 2x forward. Okay. The vid recording cuts short and you hear the Vox Master's voice in your comm beat. I am very sorry, Lord Captain. The servants of the Omnissiah could no longer restrain the machine spirit's hunger. I hope you were able to see the vid message through to the end. Huh. Did it give me like an update? Where did it say that was? I should have written that down too. The stars of Martianus. Okay. The duty officer reported an incident. No, we've seen this before. To the Emperor's palm. Analog vernacular. How wonderful it is that I found you here. Uncontrollable anxiety washes over your body, causing you to lose your breath. Cassia notices this, closes her eyes, and you are released from the grip of emotions that are not your own. Please forgive me. My powers are sometimes too insistent in their attempts to break free from my control. You have made great strides in learning how to keep them at bay. I commend your perseverance. I came to deliver good tidings. I have spoken with the House's navigators through the Atlas. Of late I can feel with increasing clarity how our connection is growing stronger, despite the dissent in its midst. House Orselio has been able to keep a precarious equilibrium, thanks in part to your unexpected arrival on Urak 5, and the resolution of the conflict at the Dargonis reception. Not all Arcelios concur with your decision, but none can deny the impact that you and no one else have had on the House's present state of affairs. Cassia nods gratefully, lowers her gaze, and clasps her hands together. There is more I wish to tell you. It is about the visions that I have come to experience at an increasing rate during warp jumps. The same visions come to me again and again and again. It is as if I am going mad, for you see these visions are about me, the Atlas, and Tisiphone Orselio, the House's previous Novator. I have seen Tisiphone's experiments, the ones that involved the navigators from the Sethala branch, which she was rumored to have destroyed for disobedience. But the visions told me an altogether different story, one where the Setalis helped Tisiphone create the Atlas, and they vanished immediately after the experiments were done with. Perhaps I can... No, I know I can find the way to the Palace of the Atlas if I recreate Tisiphone's journey from my visions. A real palace, not the psycho-physical illusion to which the Orselio navigators can reach out. I have always had a feeling that it truly exists in our world. Now, however, I know it with absolute certainty. What makes you so sure that you will find the way to this physical manifestation of the Atlas? I saw Tisiphone experience an epiphany in a dream, just like my visions came to me on our travels through the warp. She beheld a planet hidden behind roiling warp storms. The world promised her great power, so Tisiphone gathered the Citalis, her most devout followers, to go on a suicidal journey through the Tempest. I know not the details of what happened on that planet, but it was there that the Citalis sacrificed themselves for an experiment of some kind. And it was there that House Orselio obtained its Starway Atlas. For the first time ever, I have an opportunity to find answers to the questions my mentors so deftly avoided. Why did Tisiphone choose me? What is the Atlas? Is it true that House Orselio's past is drenched in blood? Please, vernacular, do not snap this tautly drawn string of destiny. My destiny. Journey with me in Tisiphone's wake to the distant stars. I shall help you, Lady Cassia. She breathes a sigh of relief, but the look in her ruby eyes quickly darkens again. The house is still watching me, both the renegades and the loyalists. I doubt that any of them will agree, even to a brief armistice for the sake of learning the truth about the Atlas's origins, and I do not wish to see House Orselio lose even one more life to another fratricidal skirmish. No, I shall go after the answers about our past on my own. Okay, I'm gonna trust her. It is best that we go alone then. Cassia's shoulders relax a little. Thank you for your understanding, rogue trader. And now permit me to take my leave. I must start preparing for the journey. From what I have been able to glean, we must first travel to the... Her ruby red eyes widen in astonishment. The Orselio prophecy system. Odd, that. Could it be that the historical records are lying, and Caitlin Orselio is not whom the star system is named after? Either way, that was the system from which Tisiphone embarked on our journey, and we are going to follow in her long-forgotten footsteps. Just in case doing main story could lock us out of this, we're going to do this right now. So, that's where we're headed next. We're going to do her side mission for sure. Okay. So, thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and in the next one, we're heading to the Orselio system. Bye, everybody.
I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters: Darren York, ZTD, Knife Namaste, Chris Murphy, JW, Quinless, Vlado101, Bruce Wizzle, Black Mamba 90, Eureka Gecko, A Happy Fat Panda, Pato Kuto, Shadow Raven, Hannah Kate the Great, Emily Kuzanoa, Philip Dougherty, Timothy Jansen, Skip, Daniel, Yale, Naya, Turkeyfoot27, and Nadia N. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.